If it's one thing I would say is that Game Pass is for the gamers. You are able to get a variety of AAA games for the low price of $16 a month. Compared to any other service, the value that Game Pass gives an individual is unmatched. And all because gamers, normal thinking gamers, love deals. But if it is you was to ask a Sony fan if they rather get a deal or pay the corporation more money, they might say this. Why? Because they are sick.
He says if Spider-Man 3 costs $100, I'm still buying it. Facts.
This is a sickness!
So shout out to Silent Merc. He doesn't care. He wants to, you know, and I'm definitely not putting that on you, Persona, but like you were saying earlier, you were saying you don't mind to purchase a game that you love and adore to play, and I'm right there with you.
I think most people will. I think most people are willing to pay the money. Like Sean Layden, when he left, was correct. Like he said, something has to budge, either the size and the budgets or the prices. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be the prices, and I'm telling you what, I'm not going to stop gaming for a $10 increase. I'm about it, but none of us are going to stop gaming, and they know that.
People are still buying. Consumers are buying games like they are.
I would gladly pay $100 for a game.
Y'all smoking crack. Something is wrong with you people. What the hell has this world come to?
So these Sony fans are saying that they would happily pay $100 for a video game. Now they are not considering that if the gaming industry balloons to being able to charge their consumers $100 per game, then we have to admit that something is wrong with the gaming industry. We'll need to ask some serious questions. Why are these games costing so much to make? That is the point. So the point where it is, in order to make a profit, you will need to charge gamers $100 for a game, and these ponies are okay with that. That is how the first gaming era crashed, is because of thinking like that. But you know what's even more funny? One of Sony's internal research shows that PlayStation data suggests $70 games are resulting in fewer sales. So Sony own research is saying here what? Gamers are buying fewer games because it is $70. These ponies are out here basically saying that Sony, your data is wrong. We will pay even more than that, and we are going to love it. This is a sickness, guys, a real sickness. But I digress. Today, we are going to talk about how these PlayStation fans are caught lacking again. They claim to say that they are the only community that buy games. Well, we have proof once again to show them that they are liars. And we are going to see how Sony fans are angry that the Fallout series is doing so well on TV, and that is reflecting well in game sales. They are now saying, a number of foolish statements because Fallout is so successful. So we're going to talk about all that and more. So let's get it.
This is a sickness!
Let's get it. Before we start the video, let me just say thanks for all those of you who supported the podcast that went Sunday gone. We did have a lot of fun. We did have some technical difficulties, but as we grow, we will get better in that. So thank you guys. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Let's get back to the video. First up, let's talk about the Fallout series. As most of you all know, the Fallout series is doing gangbusters when it comes to viewership and so forth. A lot of different media outlets is giving the Fallout series very high reviews. So much so that on Rotten Tomatoes, this is in the 90s, which is really good for any series. Now, although there were some critics saying that this particular series has a lot of violence, that violence is synonymous with Fallout. However, no one expected the huge impact Fallout would have had with the games itself. We're talking about all the games. Now, listen carefully and see how much of an impact the series is having on the games itself. Listen.
Fallout 76 reaches record player count after the show's premiere. Fallout 76 just had the most players log in on Steam since launch, thanks to the success of the show. Fallout 76 saw a huge spike in players over the weekend, breaking its concurrent player count record on Steam. At its peak, 39,455 fans were playing at once, and this only accounts for those on PC via Steam. This increase in players unsurprisingly coincides with the premiere of the Fallout show on Prime Video, reigniting interest in Bethesda's once controversial MMO. It remains to be seen if these players stick around, but in any case, it demonstrates that the show is bringing fans over to the games, as we've seen with other video game adaptations. According to SteamDB, Fallout 76 was averaging a concurrent player count of a little under 10,000 before the show. This often crept into 5 figures as the show drew closer, but increased dramatically after the premiere. Even right now, early on a Monday, there are 18,186 players at the time of writing. As we reported previously, the success of the show is also helping the single-player Fallout games. This has only improved further since we last covered the story, with 83,491 players picking up Fallout 4 over the weekend, on top of 19,505 fans playing New Vegas. The latter will probably climb even further too, given the ending of Fallout's first season. Even the first Fallout game, often left out of playthroughs of the series, has picked up more than a couple of thousand players, a huge increase from before the show was released. The release of the Fallout show has some fans reassessing Fallout 76, with many on social media enjoying their time with the MMO all these years later. Of course, this is due in large part to all of the updates and expansions that have launched since, as many of the game's issues have long been addressed. Perhaps the biggest gripe players had with Fallout 76 at launch was its lack of NPCs, as Bethesda wanted to encourage player interaction. However, this was addressed in an expansion, adding NPCs to the wasteland. As for the single-player entries, we can expect Fallout 4 to bring in even more players soon. Its current general expansion is finally set to launch on April 25th, bringing improvements to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC. Sadly, this means that the huge fan game, Fallout London, has had to delay its long-awaited release, which was set for April 23rd. As explained by the project lead, the update would break Fallout London, so the team has had to delay the release indefinitely until the mod is made compatible with the new version of Fallout 4.
Wow. Who would have thought that Microsoft struck gold? Yes, we are reminded that Microsoft struck gold by buying Bethesda. Because not only have they gotten all of Bethesda franchise under their belt, these things are highly marketable when it comes to series and movies and so forth. So yes, all of the games are seeing a spike in players as this particular series has been unveiled. But you know what's the funny part of all of this, guys? That the Sony community is still salty because Microsoft acquired Bethesda. Yes, all of Bethesda franchises are now Microsoft owned. They belong to Microsoft. They are Microsoft first party content. But these ponies are so angry that they are saying this. Listen, Japan hates Xbox on Twitter tweeted, Fallout will never have any association with Xbox. Stop trying to claim ownership over a multi-platform franchise. We all know you're deeply jealous of the reception and popularity of the PlayStation's hit The Last of Us TV show, but Xbox will never be regarded in the same light. I think somebody forgot to take his meds today. What is this guy even talking about? This franchise belongs to Xbox, dude. This franchise belongs to Microsoft. So what are you saying trying to claim ownership? Are you mad? I could almost taste the salt. LL Cool J laugh at this guy, man. All these Sony fans know how to do is hate. These guys, they are so sick. But let me hear what you think about, did you predict that the Fallout TV show would have been such a success? Did you know it would have affected the games? Let me know in the comment sections below. Let me know what you also think about some Sony fans who are upset that Fallout is having this massive success and it belongs to Microsoft. Let me know all of that in the comment sections below. Let's talk about the Final Fantasy franchise and in extension Final Fantasy 7 Reboot. You see, Sony for years would have gotten the exclusive rights to the Final Fantasy games. And for the most part, both Square Enix and Sony and the fans were happy with that deal. But a report came out not too long ago that proves that Final Fantasy, the franchise itself, has seen a steady decline, a steady, lack of popularity, not like the days like what they had before, since it was exclusive on a Sony platform. However, when we saw that, the Sony community brushed it off as nothing. But now we are seeing very clear, because Final Fantasy 7 Reboot really exposed the PlayStation fans. You see, these PlayStation fans were saying and capping all through Twitter, all through YouTube, that Final Fantasy 7 Reboot was Game of the Year. They were saying that they are the only community that buy and purchase games. But yet still, this is what happened and this is what occurred with Final Fantasy 7 Reboot. Could somebody who is a PlayStation fan explain this?
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is reportedly underperforming, selling half of Remake. The highly anticipated game Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the second installment in the ambitious Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy, received widespread critical acclaim when it launched in late February. The game earned a perfect score in WeCCFTech's review penned by Kai Tatsumoto. The Metascore, the average of reviews aggregated on Metacritic, which includes ours, is 92, 3 points higher than the predecessor. And yet, according to Daniel Ahmad, Director of Research and Insights at Nico Partners, the game is severely underperforming in sales compared to Final Fantasy VII Remake. Here's what the analyst wrote on Twitter. Not to be that guy, but Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is underperforming sales-wise. It's selling about half of what Remake sold in the same timeframe and looks like it'll have a weaker tail prior to any PS Plus-like release. Ahmad cited Equities research reports that get the data from Usual Trackers. Publicly, we know that the game ranked 5th on UK's March 2024 chart, topped by Helldivers 2. There's a few obvious reasons for this puzzling sales performance. First and foremost, the Final Fantasy VII Remake launched in April 2020, right in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, when the games industry experienced an unprecedented boost to gaming revenue and engagement caused by the mandatory stay-at-home laws. Moreover, that was also just a few months before the release of the new consoles. PlayStation 4 was at an all-time high install base nearly 7 years after its launch, whereas PS5 has barely reached half of that time on the market. It is unlikely that this underwhelming performance will influence Square Enix's plans to complete the trilogy. The next and final installment is already in production, and the developers hope to be able to release the game in around 3 or 4 years. However, the low sales may persuade the publisher to be quicker with porting Final Fantasy VII Rebirth to PC.
Well, Sony fans have some explaining to do. You guys hyped this game to the moon, and yet still you guys didn't go out and buy it. You guys claim to be the only community that says that they buy games. But it's very clear that you guys did not go out and support this game. What is wrong with you hypocrites? This is the very definition of hypocrisy, where you complain about another community and then you go and do the same exact thing that you are complaining about. Hypocrites, cowards. Now, Square Enix need to take a look at this and re-evaluate what are their plans when it comes to porting this game over, not only to PC but also to Xbox, because it's very clear that that model, that exclusive model, giving Sony exclusive rights to Final Fantasy, is basically killing the franchise. So let me hear what you think about everything that was said today. Let me hear what you thought, whether it be about Final Fantasy or it could also mean the Fallout series. Let me know in the comment sections below, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.